Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Top Deck, a Magic podcast for the good, the bad, and the lucky. I am always your host. I, as always, am your host, Christian Spooty One Kingsbury, and I'm here with my co-host, Eric. Has a new mic setup, Nappy. How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good. I'm feeling a little sneaky tonight.
Feeling sneaky.
I'm feeling sneaky.
Are you a sneaky snack?
Maybe. I don't know. I guess you could say that.
Well, I'm excited for this podcast today. We've got a lot to talk about. Lots of stuff going on. We're going to start with discussing the new conspiracy set that was released. Then we're going to move
Announced.
into... Announced. You're right.
I wish it was released.
We're going to discuss Morrow talking about emergency bannings. Then we're going to talk about Morrow talking about vanilla mythics. Lots of talking about going on today. And then lastly, the main topic that we're going to be discussing today are flavor EDH decks. And this is something that I'm sure I was not the first one to come up with, but it's something that I've been really into recently. And we're going to discuss what they are and also go over some decks that we've made.
Yep.
So, no time to waste. Let's get right into conspiracy.
So
Wizards have announced a new set, and it's going to be Conspiracy 2.
Yep, Conspiracy 2. What was it? The Rule of Brago? I mean, the Empty Throne. I mean, Take the Throne, or, They announced this in the funnest way I've ever seen a set announcement.
Oh, man, I love it. It harkens back to the Scars of Mirrodin block, the way they did that a little bit. And it's nice whenever they do something like this, where they decide to release something and announce it in a very creative way, and I love that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. If you guys didn't catch it, originally they announced it as Conspiracy 2, the Rule of Brago. Regular set announcement. It's going to have 221 cards. And then 2 days later, we find out that actually Brago got assassinated.
Oops.
And so it was the Empty Throne. And it was only going to have 220 cards because Brago's dead now.
He's dead now, so obviously.
And then a few days after that, we get another announcement for... I don't remember the actual name of the new one.
Take the Crown?
Take the Crown, you are correct. Which, is back to 221 cards, and apparently it's going to be themed around being the king? I don't know. It's going to be conspiracy and stuff.
Queen?
Yeah, well, I think that wasn't it. Well, yeah. Is that Marchesa? I don't know. Okay, I didn't know the art for Marchesa, so I was not sure if that was her or not.
Or at least that's what I believe. I thought I saw that was confirmed somewhere, so. But, yeah, from what I understand, the set is designed to be drafted, much like with the original Conspiracy, and also it's made to be played in multiplayer games, 3 or more people at a time.
Mm-hmm. That is also how the original Conspiracy worked.
Is that okay?
Yes. For those of you who aren't familiar with Conspiracy, it's a summer supplemental set. It's 100% draft themed. A lot of the cards in it interact with the draft instead of just you draft your cards, blah blah blah, you're done. One of my favorite cards from the previous one was if you drafted it face up, and then you just added a booster pack, any kind of booster pack that you wanted to the draft that you got first pick out of.
Wow. Yeah, you'll notice a lot of cards in this set and in the last set as well that talk about things and allow for things that don't even make sense in a lot of formats.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they address topics that aren't even things you would have addressed. So
They also have a extra card super type. They have conspiracies, which are basically things that will affect your game before the game starts.
Now, I would assume those are in this set. Has that been confirmed yet?
It hasn't been confirmed, but it's
just kind of like a...
You're going to have them.
Right. It would make sense for them to have them, and really not make sense for them not to.
Yeah. Those are cool. They can be. Some of them you start the game face up. Some of them are face down. I remember one that if you played with your entire every single card that you drafted, you could just tap lands for any color.
Wow.
Yeah.
That seems incredibly good.
Except for the fact that you're gonna be playing with a bunch of shitty cards that you drafted, like 10th pick.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah. So, yeah, not much known about Conspiracy 2 yet, but it is exciting. I'm excited for it.
Yep, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
In August?
Yeah, August something or another.
August something or another.
I think it's like
first.
I think it's late August.
I believe you're correct. So, yeah. Prepared for that. When that happens, I'll probably forget all about it, and then August will roll around and be like, oh yeah, Conspiracy 2.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right. So the next thing that we're going to discuss, we got a couple Blogatog posts, questions asked to Mark Rosewater, and that he answered, that have been really interesting the past couple days. So to begin with, a lot of players, majority of the community, knows about the Eldrazi menace in Modern, possibly even in Legacy. I thought I saw that somebody played Eldrazi and did well, though I don't think it's nearly as much of a problem there as it is in Modern. You know, it's a big deal. And a lot of people have been calling for an emergency ban. You know, they think that this is something that's been done in the past and there's a precedent for it, and they don't understand why it hasn't been done again. So, to this note, Gandalf the Mage on Blogatog asked Morrow, so as the majority of the modern player base know, Eldrazi decks are destroying the meta. They consistently place in the top 8 of events and in general are rather difficult for most modern decks to beat. I personally disagreed with the no emergency ban idea, seeing as if there was ever a need for one, the time is now. My only hope is that when SOI comes out, Shadows over Innistrad, either some new deck comes out to stop it, or there are needed bannings. If any bannings are to be made, the Eldrazi must pay. So to this, Mark Rosewater responded, just so people are aware, we have never had an emergency ban in the context people think. We used to announce bans which took effect a month later. One time during Urza's Saga block, almost 20 years ago, we announced the banned cards, and then a week later we went, oops, we meant to include one more. The announced card wasn't immediately banned, but added to the list that was scheduled to be banned 3 weeks later. That's it. In the history of the game, there's the one emergency ban, in quotes, we've ever done. We have never ever banned a card that was then immediately banned outside of a banning and restricted announcement, ever. Okay. We've got some logic bombs by Morrow over here.
Dropping some hot facts on us.
And this is interesting, because I've heard this sort of mindset from several people saying that, you know, there's a lot of misconceptions about bannings that have happened in the past. And a lot of people, myself included, honestly, until just recently, thought that there have been, I thought multiple times in the past, where cards were just, immediately banned, like people are expecting to have happen. And apparently that's not the case. So I'm glad that people like Morrow are going out of their way to be like, hey, here's the actual facts. You are being misled, or you misunderstand what actually happens. And this is I think they're afraid of setting a precedent for it.
Yeah. Honestly, do I think Eldrazi should be banned out or slightly banned out? Yeah. But they shouldn't be changing how they do things because of it.
Correct. And I agree with you. I think that there is a problem that needs to be fixed, but I do think that this is fine, right? This kind of stuff happens so rarely, and it's not like it's just one deck. It's mostly the same creatures, but there are different colors of it. There's different decks that are trying to do different things. And while a majority of the metagame might be comprised of these strategies, at least it's not like you're facing a Splinter Twin, let's say. It's a good thing Splinter Twin isn't 50% of the meta game.
Yeah.
Because that would be a lot different. and you could argue for or against that mindset. But either way, I think that eventually a card like Ayavug and a card like Eldrazi Temple will be banned. But I think that it's fine. I think that it's okay to take the time to really get some good information and to, again, not fall into the sort of slippery slope mentality of just banning the best thing whenever it's a problem.
Mm-hmm. And we don't know that there isn't a deck out there right now that can stop it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think there is,
but it's possible.
But you never know, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody just chill. Everybody just chill.
Give them a minute.
All right, so the last thing we're going to talk about before getting to the main topic is yet another Blogatog post where Red Blades Charger asks, maybe I get you before you go to sleep. Was Endless One, the XXL Drowsy, the vanilla rare you talked about a while back? And if not, is it in an upcoming set? And then Mara said it was a vanilla mythic rare, and you all haven't seen it yet. It's still in this, or in its set, rather. So, there's some weird stuff going on behind the scenes.
So, we haven't seen too many vanilla rares or mythics in quite a long time.
Yeah, definitely.
The last one I can remember is, like, Konda.
Oh, yeah.
Back in Kamigawa block.
That's true.
And that was quite a long time ago.
That's a long time ago, yeah. There might be one after that, but I feel like there isn't. The point of the matter is that usually if they are vanilla, you don't remember them because they're usually bad.
Bad, or it doesn't matter.
Right. Go on.
So someone posted that they think because of this, it would be a boring mythic otherwise. They think that we're getting a new card super type with this mythic. So super types are, lands, creatures, spells, or not spells, instant sorceries, stuff like that. So
you kind of mean much like they did tribal at one point. That's a super type.
Exactly.
Or like planeswalkers when they did that. Now,
legendary is a super type.
That's a good point. Okay, actually, that's a really good point because since legendary is a is it really a super type? I didn't know that.
Yep.
Or I didn't remember that. So okay, that makes a little bit more sense then. So if we get something like legendary that is a super type, you could have a 4-mana 5/5 or 4-mana 4/4, depending on what the rules baggage is, if you will, with that super type.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more leaning on to the fact that it's going to be some big green creature. I think we're going to get a mythic. Oh man, what would it have to be? It would have to be like a 3-drop 5/6 or something ridiculous, or even just a 5/5 maybe.
Yeah, I don't see. I just don't see him doing that.
It feels very 15 years ago, 20 years ago to do something like that. What if okay, so it would have to be God. Okay, so it's probably okay, well they already did triple green for a 4/5, right? That was Leatherback Baloth, and that was an uncommon?
Because it's boring.
Right.
You don't care if it's a 4 or 5 or 3. It still doesn't do anything besides attack and block.
This is interesting. There's a lot that you could think about here.
1 mana 10/10.
Don't specify that it's a creature. 1 mana 10/10.
Well, vanilla kind of makes it.
You would think.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Makes you assume it's a creature at least. Yeah, that's really interesting. This was the first I heard about this, and I'm pretty excited for it.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, we could also just be wrong, and It could be another Conda.
Yeah, it could just be yeah. Actually, it could just be another Conda. Like it could just be a 1-mana 2/2.
Mm-hmm.
What if they actually just made like a red Conda legendary? Or I guess they have. Though actually they've just made it better.
Yeah. There's
Bell Ringer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean it's just they've got to be doing something.
There's something weird going on behind the scenes. And yeah, so I don't know, man. I would bet with you what I think it is, but I'm based on what I know about them and their tendencies, I can't really say.
Yeah, with all the weird stuff that's been going on lately, all bets are off when it comes to the next Magic set, it seems like.
They really are. All right, well, I feel pretty warmed up. I'm ready to get into the main topic if you are.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so today, the main thing we want to be talking about are flavor EDH decks. Now, flavor EDH decks, well, okay, let's start. EDH. What is EDH? It's the format where you have a commander. It's known as commander nowadays, I guess. 100 card, singleton, except for basic lands. And you have a commander who determines the color choices that you make to your deck. Can be played from the command zone, start at 40 life. There are more rules, you know.
We talk about Commander all the time. You guys know what it is.
Yeah. Right. Now, in Flavor Commander, if you will, the point isn't necessarily to win, or at least you win by making the coolest and most flavorful deck, in my opinion. You play out the game, but really you're just there to be like, yeah, but check out all my Vorthos.
Pretty much.
Just look at the theme that I've chosen and look how well I fit that theme and still made a deck that functions. And so that's the real challenge of making a flavor EDH deck, is making a deck that fits both in form and function.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, we both made a flavor EDH deck to tell you about today.
Yep. So, I've got a bunch of Spies.
And I've got a bunch of farmers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or at least a few farmers and his crops. So, I guess we can go ahead and start with mine.
Go for it.
The commander I've chosen is Karametra, the god of harvests. The deck is called Harvest Moon, and it is all about farming, plants, horticulture, you name it. And if I may, I would like to take a moment to tell you a little bit about John. Is that all right with you?
Okay. You go for it.
All right. Crack my knuckles, get a little bit of water in the throat here. Water. All right. So, John is a simple man. He was raised by his mom and dad on a ranch outside the Setessan boundaries on the plain of Theros. He grew up happily alongside his 3 siblings, 2 sisters, and an older brother. John wasn't much like his older brother. See, Jake resented farm life and left as soon as he could to join the Akroan Guard. He was never heard of again. No, John is much more level-headed than that. Growing up under his father's guide, he became quite the diligent farmhand and eventually inherited the family business, for which he was grateful. John wakes up every morning to the calming, early morning radiance and glistening leaves covered in dew from the seemingly constant mists in the area. He loves it here. He loves caring for his carnivorous plants, his phytohydras, and his prized possession is the utopia tree his father planted as a small child. It's hard work, but rewarding work. Luckily, John has help of his own. Gaiman, a hard-working elf and a family friend for as long as John can remember, helps him with planting and weeding. Then there's the shoe farmer, or at least that's what he calls himself. He doesn't speak John's language. In fact, John's never heard nor seen anyone like the shoe farmer. He showed up one day, tired and scared. John gave him a job working the fields, and he's never left. Life is good for them. Karametra smiles upon them daily and blesses them with a bountiful harvest every season. Their small remote farm is more than enough for them to get by. Life was simple, or at least until Nissa, voice of Zendikar, showed up one day. A burst of light was seen outside one morning that awoke John with a shock. He ran out of his small hut to find none other than Nissa standing there. She appeared confused. "Where is Ashaya?" she said frantically. "I don't have any idea what you're talking about," said John, disdain in his voice. "Oh, I must find Ashaya," yelled Nissa, the ability to connect with Zendikar clearly a part of her personality. Before John could say another word, she was gone, running through his fields, leaving weeds in her path. Irritated, he went back to tending to his caribou range. Gemmon ran over excitedly, asking John who that beautiful woman was and why she seemed so confused. "Oh, you know how it is, Gemmon," John muttered. "One-dimensional characters just don't fit well into a storyline sometimes." Gemmon nodded, and they went back to work.
Oh, that was good.
There you go.
That was good. I especially like the part where Nissa really wanted to find Ashaya. That seemed like a real character development on her part.
Yeah, so I gotta give credit to the professor from Tolarian Community College for that Nissa joke. That was his. I went along with it. But yeah, so to give you an example of the flavor of my deck, there you go. I wrote a little bit of a story for it.
I'm outdone.
I hope you enjoyed.
I should have gone first, apparently.
Yeah, I had a really good time doing that. Well, maybe I can go a little bit into detail about the deck itself.
Yeah, go for it.
So this deck, like I've mentioned, it's all about plants and farming. So as an example, some of the actual cards in this deck, we have John, the Diligent Farmhand, which is a 1 green for a 1/1. And he's a druid, not a human for whatever reason. And you can pay mana to sacrifice him, and you can search your library for a basic land card and put it into play tapped. And get this, if he's in your graveyard, Muscle Burst's effect counts it as a Muscle Burst. I don't have Muscle Burst in this deck, so this is just a 1/1 for 1 that can sacrifice for a land.
Yep, seems like yeah.
Super good. I also have Shoe Farmer from Portal. It's 1 and a white for a 1/1. Who originally, I just want to put it out there, this had creature type Farmer. Farmer. It has since been errated to human, but I wish they had kept it as creature type Farmer. That would have been so good. It probably was the only creature type Farmer. I didn't check, but I bet you it was. And he has the ability on my turn, before I attack, I can tap him to gain 1 life. That's right.
1 life.
1 life. We also have where's he at? Wait for it. The Elvish Farmer. Here he is. Gemmond. This is Elvish Farmer, 1 and a green for an 0/2 elf. At the beginning of your upkeep, you put a spore counter on him, and you remove 3 spore counters from him to put a 1/1 Saproling creature token onto the battlefield, and you can sacrifice Saprolings to gain 2 life. A little bit more of a played card than the other 2, I would assume.
It seems a lot better than the other 2.
So, I've got a lot of, flavor-fitting cards here. I've got a lot of plants, Wall of Blossoms, Wall of Brambles, Wall of Pine Needles, Wall of Roots, Wall of Vines. Lots of different walls.
Steph, John's farm has, lots of walls. He's also an architect in his spare time.
Well, he's nothing like his older brother. He's not about fighting. He just wants to stay at home, put up some walls,
Let plants grow on the walls.
I have the vine trellis here. I've got all kinds of things. There's a singing tree, tree of redemption, utopia tree. He's got some trees to take care of. There's also bloom tender and the harvester druid. I guess I forgot to fit harvester druid into the storyline somewhere. Maybe that's his dad or something. And there are also scarecrows. I have Scarecrow, which is a 5 mana 2/2 artifact creature who has the activated ability pay 6 generic and tap to prevent all damage that would be dealt to you this turn by creatures with flying.
He also has the ability of having some creepy fucking art.
It's incredibly creepy art, actually. It's like a weird knit Medusa close up.
It's weird. It's just weird.
There's also One-Eyed Scarecrow, which is a little bit less creepy, from Innistrad block. 3 colorless, or well, 3 generic for a 2/3 artifact creature with Defender. Creatures with flying your opponent's control get -1/-0. Super flavorful card, super fitting for the deck.
Works for me.
And but you know, it's not just plants. John also cares for some livestock. For example, he has Caribou Range, which is an enchantment from Ice Age, I think. It's an enchant land for 2 white. Enchanted land has white tap. Put an 0/1 white caribou creature token onto the battlefield, and you can sacrifice a caribou token to gain 1 life. I didn't even know caribou tokens existed before the other day.
I'm glad that they do.
I'm so glad that they do. They're amazing. And they fit very well with Springjack Pasture, which is a land that can tap for a colorless, or pay mana to and tap to make an 0/1 goat token, and you can sacrifice goats to make mana and gain life. So, animals as well.
Yeah, it sounds like he really likes murdering his animals, to be honest.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't like murdering his animals. He just has to live off of them, like a real man should.
Of course.
Yeah. I also have some thematic weaponry here. I've got both Blight Sickle and Sharpened Pitchfork, neither of which are very good, but I kind of want to give my 0/4 Defender +1/+0 and Wither.
Yeah, it would be really good. Seems really
that
good.
Way, if you attack with a 3/3 and I block, it will become a 2/2. So in addition to that, we've got some on-theme enchantments such as Farmstead, which is one of the most ridiculous enchant lands I have ever seen. It's just super overly costed. Farmstead, white, enchant land. Target land's controller gains 1 life if white is spent during controller's upkeep, and because that's so overpowered, you cannot gain more than 1 life each turn through this enchantment.
I mean, you wouldn't want to be like, spending 6 mana to get 3 life. That would be way overpowered.
It would be. So yeah, there's a lot more to it. I'm gonna obviously have these deck lists posted in links to chat here, but it's a lot of flavor. Now, as for an actual win con, I don't know. I tried very hard. At this point, I think my win condition is just commander damage with Karametra, which seems incredibly difficult given I have no way to give her evasion. So if they have any way to just make chump blockers, I can't really ever win, it would seem. There is sort of like an alternate backup plan in that I have Avenger of Zendikar in here, who fits very well with all the plants that are in the deck and all the plant tokens that can be made. So maybe I can kind of go wide and really like grow my fields of plants.
I was gonna say, it sounds like your win con is drawing Avenger of Zendikar.
So yeah, but the deck is great. I'm so happy with it. I love it. there's some strategy level to it. There's a lot of ways to recycle lands. By which I mean, if you have lands in your grave, you can bring them back. And so to take advantage of that, I found 2 cards. I found Reaping the Rewards, which is a single white for an instant, but it has buyback, sacrifice a land, and you gain 2 life. It does hardly anything, but it's a way to sacrifice land over and over again. And in addition to that, there are those constant mists I told you about, which is 1 and a green for an instant, buyback, sacrifice a land for fog. And so I think it's possible to get into like sort of like a soft lock between constant mists and life from the loam, to where I just get to fog almost every turn, or maybe every turn for a while, which might help me get my farm going. Give me enough time to actually get some plants out there. So yeah, the deck is insane. I love it, and I can't wait to play with it at some point.
It's very silly, and I appreciate that. Like, you have no idea.
All right, well, I've talked a good bit about my deck. Why don't we go to yours?
All right, so I have not had as much time to work on the crazy flavor, like an entire 10-paragraph story, or even a really good name for my deck, because I'm the worst, I believe is the correct term.
Well, I think we all know that I'm better than you. I don't think that was of any question.
At this, and nothing else. Well, I guess you could be better at being the worst.
Oh, okay. This could be true. I will accept that.
Okay, cool. But my deck is Dimir. It's headed by Sezdek, the Lord of Secrets, who was the original Dimir guild leader in Ravnica Block.
So you changed.
I did. I didn't like Lazav as much at the head, because Lazav was not a Lord of Secrets. He was just a mastermind.
You're right. He was behind it all, but he was not the one doing the secrety stuff.
Yeah. So he's a flyer 5/5 for 3 blue, black.
Oh my god. Okay.
So I'll probably never cast him, but who cares? But if he would deal damage to a player, instead you put that many +1/+1 counters on him, and that player puts that many cards from the top of his or her library into his or her graveyard. So he is actually a mill creature.
He gets big but never deals damage?
Exactly.
He just mills more?
He just mills more.
That's really weird.
he mills more, and he's harder to kill. That's it.
That's awesome.
So my deck is, a bunch. It's kind of like it's spies and assassins and kind of like information brokers and stuff. Let's see. Again, so we were talking about these draft matter conspiracy cards. I actually have a couple of them in my deck because they fit my theme. Like Deal Broker, 3 mana for an artifact creature construct. You draft it face up, and it allows you to do stuff.
Don't forget to draft it face up while you're in your commander game.
But it's a 2/3, and you can tap it to loot. There's another one in here. I know I put it in, and it was even worse. Where is it?
You got this.
I'm gonna find it.
You will find it. I demand that you find it.
Well, fuck you. I'm not gonna do it. I won't do what you tell me. All right. I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's in my artifacts. Maybe I didn't put it. I may not have put it in.
Well, that's a shame.
I thought I did though.
Throws away the whole storyline there.
Yeah, man, it's the worst. But then I've also got stuff like Lore Broker. He's selling information and shit.
Okay.
Lurking Informant. Then
okay.
Is this it? I know I have a card in here that when it enters the battlefield, I can go looking for a mercenary card of converted mana cost 3 or less and put it onto the battlefield. I don't have any other mercenaries. Because
It's so good. It's so good.
I do have Serpent Assassin. He's a sneaky snake.
Aha!
When he
I
comes
know
in, he's a 3 black for a 2/2. Summon creature assassin snake, I believe. Or snake. It's either snake assassin or snake rogue. And when it comes into play from your hand, only from your hand, you may choose to destroy any one creature that isn't black. Lazav is also in here because, he's doing Lazav stuff.
Sneaky.
He is sneaky. I also have Phoenix in here because he is the god of deception, and your spies have to be very deceiving.
This is true. Highly deceptive.
I feel like I did really well on actually the non-creature spells in here, like hidden strings. You're messing with stuff behind the scenes.
Isn't that the one that just taps things and untaps things?
Yeah. You may tap or untap target permanent, then you may tap or untap another target permanent. But it also has Cipher. And that's kind of a big deal because I'm playing a ton of rogues in this deck, and rogues are significantly harder to block most of the time.
Oh, man.
Then we also have Increasing Confusion. You got the spy in the background spreading this confusion. Increasing confusion. I think there was some instance in here too. Induce paranoia. Misdirection.
Oh god, what was that one? That the ability was so confusing. It was like you can destroy. You have to count up the amount of each color of creature on the field.
That was a creature. I gotta find that because that one was really bad.
It was one of the most confusing cards I've heard in a while.
Oh man, where is it?
You'll find it, guys. Don't worry.
I might find
so many
it.
Creatures.
It was 35.
There are only 35 creatures. He has to find it.
Oh well, I found the assassin that goes and looks for a mercenary. So that's Wrath the Assassin. It's 2 black for a 2/2. You can pay 1 black and tap to destroy target tapped non-black creature, or 3 and tap to search your library for a mercenary card with converted mana cost 3 or less and put it into play.
Yeah, so you can only get your 3 or less mercenaries.
Is this it? No, that's not it. Here we go. Sabo's Assassin. 2 black for a 1/1 creature assassin. Tap to destroy target creature if it shares a color with the most common color among all permanents, or a color tied for the most common. A creature destroyed this way can't be regenerated.
It's so out there. I was trying to figure out the flavor of it last night, and I was like, is it just there's a crowd of people who all look the same, and so when you run in there and kill one, no one notices?
I guess.
Sure.
Let's see, what else do we got in here? We got Assassinate and Assassin Strike, because you got to have some kill spells, and yes. There's assassins. There's also...
It seems the magic word for your deck is assassin.
Assassin and spy. And broker. There's quite a few brokers in there, too.
Oh, do you have Thopter Spy Network in there?
I do have Thopter Spy Network because it has the word spy. And also it's the best because it's the Thopter Spy Network.
Oh my god.
There's also Black Market, which is a decently good card.
It is.
I didn't realize it.
You're not allowed to have decently good cards in your deck.
Black Network and Underworld Connections.
Perfect.
Perfect,
right on
yeah.
Theme.
Also, this one is one of my favorites because it's I Spy, but the I isn't the word, for me, it's I is in your eyeball.
Oh my god.
And you can look at the top card of target player's library and put that card back on top of the library or in the player's graveyard.
Or in your graveyard.
As far as also another good one, desertion. You know, you got your spies in there, and they're spreading dissent, and then your opponent's creatures are deserting them.
Nice.
Desertion, misdirection, perplex. Also, just spy network. Not the Opter spy network, just
a card called Spy Network.
Yes, it's a very old card. It's blue for look at target player's hand, the top card of their library, and any face-down creatures he or she controls. Look at the top 4 cards of your own library, then put them back in any order.
Oh my gosh. You should just get all the information, I guess.
Pretty much.
It's crazy.
That's a good one. Murder's in there because murder.
Of course.
Then we also have some decent lands like City of Shadows, where all the spies hang out. You know, Dusk Mantle, House of shadow, Rogue's Passage, Temple of Deceit,
Of course.
Vault of Whispers.
Of course.
Watery Grave, because you know you're gonna send them to a watery grave. You kill them and they throw them in the water. I got it. Tezzeret, Agent of Bolus, is also in here because he was a spy for Bolus against the Praetors, actually. Praetors and Karn on Phyrexia after Karn got all Phyrexian oiled up.
Yeah, definitely.
And then
Phyrexia, I think you have to distinguish.
I
believe.
Don't remember which one is which.
We need to go back to the Phyrexian plot because we're starting to lose focus on what actually is going on with that.
Yes, and then I've also got Cloak and Dagger and the Whisper Silk Cloak, which is a card that makes creatures unblockable and have Shroud. But I mostly did it because of the flavor text. Some cloaks are in high demand by both assassins and by those who fear them.
So many assassin things.
Look, there's not a lot of spies going on. I needed to also put assassins in. So, you know, it's this kind of secretive order of spies and assassins that are...
Secretive secrets.
They've got lots of secrets.
Sneaky.
So I really enjoyed putting this one together. It's sneaky.
Sneaky.
It's got sneaky snake. It's got a sneaky snake.
It does. It does have a sneaky snake.
And it's got sneaky other people too.
It does. You know, we allow sneaky of all kind.
We accept all sneak. 100% sneak.
Oh my god, this has to stop. It has to stop now.
Okay, we can stop.
All right. Well, I really like your deck.
I quite enjoy yours as well. It's not as sneaky as mine, though.
It's not nearly as sneaky, but you know what? Yours has a lot to grow upon.
Yes. I do need to figure out some lore behind my sneaky snake and all my other sneaky people. Also, I need a better deck name than Spies because it's terrible.
I really like I Spy.
I Spy. That was one of my favorite. I was like, I have to put this in, right?
It just hits all the angles. It's got puns. It has the word spy. It's doing weird stuff that isn't really doing anything.
Spies.
Spies.
Spies and farmers.
Spies and farmers indeed. Oh man. Well, what do you say? I think we're getting close to wrapping it up now.
Yeah, I think that is about it.
So I'm going to have both links to these decks posted in probably almost any area where I post the podcast. These are located on Tapped Out, where you can find them in case you want to see the full deck list itself or take any ideas from it. And you can find us there. We do post there. And Eric, where else can you find us?
You can find us. Oh man, this is the one I'm good at.
I know. I decided this is your job now.
Okay, you can find us on YouTube. Just search for the Top Deck. You can find us on Twitter at the Top Deck Cast.
Call it Twitcher.
I said Twitter. You can also find us on Twitch at the Top Deck Cast. You can email us at thetopdeck@gmail.com.
The Top Deck Cast.
Is that one cast as well?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. You had one job.
I'm the worst. Then again, Stitcher, iTunes,
This is true.
Buzzsprout, pretty much any podcasting app that you might have, we should be on there. If not, let us know so we can get on there.
Yeah, actually, good point.
What else? I think that's all the places you can find us. You can find me at EAK1791 on Twitch and Twitter.
You can find me at Spooty1 on Twitter and also Twitch.
Not that you ever Twitch.
Not that I ever Twitch. Well, I might in the future if I ever move into a location where I have decent internet and not people living here.
Good point. So yeah.
Well, who knows? Maybe we can live stream us playing these games. Or, I'm sorry, playing with these decks at some point.
Yeah, actually, I would like to do that.
Sweet.
Also, important announcement that you've heard for like the last 3 podcasts. We will be at GPDC in 2 weeks from today, or 2 weeks from now. It will be the March 11th through the 13th. If you're going to be...
no podcast.
Yes, no podcast. We might do one during the week afterwards if we can get the time together. It will probably be a GP kind of overview of what happened.
Yeah.
But that said, if you want to meet up with us, let us know. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to play some EDH, maybe getting a couple of draft pods together.
That'd be great. I'd love it.
Yep.
Indeed. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Want to thank you all for listening in yet again. Join us in 2-point-something weeks when we come back to talk about probably GP recaps. And until then, may you never be mana screwed. See you guys.
Adios.